Welcome back. The situation surrounding the documents related to Jeffrey Epstein has taken a dramatic turn. We are receiving reports that suggest a far more sinister level of political interference than previously understood. Multiple sources close to the House Oversight Committee are indicating a belief that there has been an intense White House concealment effort regarding these highly sensitive Epstein files. Now, here is the critical pivot point. These same sources acknowledge that the new, high-profile investigation launched by Attorney General Pam Bondi, specifically targeting Democratic political ties to Epstein, could be politically leveraged. In essence, it could be used as the justification to permanently redact or withhold documents, precisely what many have feared. This creates a toxic environment where transparency becomes a political football. To dissect this, we have James Marsh joining us, an attorney who advocates for several Epstein survivors. James, thank you for joining us. This combination of an alleged cover-up and a new investigation that could stall document release, what does this signal to you and your clients? What we see is a pattern. The way a bill to release files was swiftly pushed through Congress this week, and then almost immediately the announcement of these new investigations, after years of inaction, it all looks highly calculated. For my clients, the fear is that this is simply a convenient legal tool. It allows officials to cite an ongoing probe to keep full transparency and accountability locked away for a long time, possibly years. They are worried the truth will be perpetually held under wraps. A chilling prospect. One of your clients, fighting for accountability, is Maria Farmer, a truly pivotal figure in this entire saga. She is now taking legal action against the government for what she says was negligence in handling her report. Maria Farmer was among the first individuals to formally report Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell for sex trafficking crimes. She is now suing the federal government, alleging serious negligence in the response she received when she first reported the abuse and other criminal activity. Here is what Maria recounted about that initial contact with authorities decades ago. Maria Farmer, audio, "They literally just hung up, and I heard nothing for 10 years. It's been a very difficult journey over almost 30 years of just trying to get people to listen to me. I sacrificed all of my young adulthood to this effort." She sacrificed her youth, met with dismissal and delay. For context, the FBI has consistently declined to comment on this pending lawsuit. James, can you elaborate on the lawsuit itself and its current status in the courts? Certainly. The most damning element of Maria's story is her direct complaint, not just to local police, but to the FBI all the way back in 1996. We managed to obtain a copy of her official FBI record, and I want to emphasize this fact. It is approximately 90% redacted. That is the starting point. She made this complaint in 1996. At that time, Epstein was already deeply connected to federal law enforcement's radar. He was a central figure, an unindicted co-conspirator in the massive Tower financial scandal, one of the biggest financial crimes in U.S. history up to that point. This was not a random nobody. Yet her detailed complaint was seemingly dismissed, only for the FBI to then track her down a decade later, leading up to Epstein's eventual plea deal. The records exist, dozens of pages, and they are overwhelmingly redacted. We need to know what those black bars are hiding. You make a crucial point that he was not an unknown. Beyond the financial scandals, you mentioned an extraordinary detail regarding his connection to the State Department. That's right. Believe it or not, the State Department had actually leased the former Iranian consulate in New York City to Epstein. They were in a lease dispute with him. So he was known to the Department of Justice, federal investigators, and the State Department. He was very well known. This isn't about whether politicians were aware of Maria Farmer. This is about why law enforcement dismissed a detailed criminal complaint against a powerful, known figure. I believe starting with the unredacted version of her 1996 record will expose a huge amount about the origins of his protection. With so much of her record blacked out, less than a minute remaining, is there any valid legal justification for redacting 90% of a decades-old complaint? Is it to protect ongoing cases or, as some politicians claim, the privacy of the people involved? That is the central question, and the answer, in my view, is no. It is not 90% victims' names. Maria and her sister are the complainants. This is not about protecting victims' identities. So if it's not the victims, who is it? The only logical entities that require that level of protection are the government officials who may have enabled Epstein or covered up his activities. That is the core focus of this lawsuit. Not the current political theater, but who in the government knew the truth when they knew it, and why they utterly failed to prosecute a notorious criminal. James, we are looking at a clear and tragic pattern. A survivor's complaint ignored, and then later heavily redacted, mirroring the current concerns that a new, politically charged investigation will be used to hide the very documents the public is fighting for. The potential for the new probe to be weaponized to conceal files under the guise of an ongoing investigation is the ultimate insult to survivors. Maria Farmer's lawsuit against the U.S. government is now one of the most powerful tools available to force that transparency and get beyond the political noise. This is about exposing systemic failure and securing true justice for those who suffered. James Marsh, thank you for your invaluable time and for the vital work your firm is doing for the survivors. The facts are simple. The truth has been locked away for decades. Today's political fighting risks keeping it locked away forever. We need to keep the pressure on. If you believe the public deserves the full, unredacted truth about the Epstein files, show your support by hitting the like button on this video. And please, subscribe to my YouTube page and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.